Hello and welcome back to Retfurb. So on today's video we've got this set of HS11 Magura brakes that we're just going to be showing the process of how to bleed them. So let's get straight into it. So you'll need a few things to do this. You need some Allen keys, you need a brake bleed kit, and you'll need some mineral oil. People do bleed these brakes with just water, which I haven't done myself. I don't know how reliable it is, so I'm going to be using some mineral brake fluid. You can use obviously other brake fluids. You can use the Magura, I think it's called Royal Blood, but I don't have any of that, so this will do exactly the same thing as that. I wouldn't recommend using DOT 4 or any other DOT brake fluids because it can react with the seals, cause them to swell and they can fail. So I wouldn't recommend it. The same goes for, I think the Shimano's are the same. I'm not entirely sure what fluid Hope uses off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure that the mineral oil is the one that most of them use. So let's get straight into it. This is the brake that I'm going to be bleeding. So it's a front brake from Magura HS11, as said before. So I'm just pointing out here that one of the bleed screws that need to come out on the lever, and there's also a bleed screw which is on the caliper itself, which needs to be removed. And then that is all that needs to be done to then get the brake bleeding kit fitted, and then we can bleed that through. So it's a 5mm and a 3mm Allen key bolt size. The 3mm is the one I'm doing now on the lever, and the 5mm on the caliper. So the first thing I'm going to do is just remove that screw from the brake lever, and then we can get the brake bleed kit fitted to it. So this brake bleed kit I bought from Amazon, but you can actually buy it from AliExpress. It's probably cheaper from AliExpress, to be honest. You just need to find the right fitting now with a screw and thread which threads into the lever, and then the other end is a barbed push-on fitting which will then fit the syringe end to. So I'm just sucking up some brake fluid into the syringe, and then we can get that part fitted onto the barbed connection that we just fitted on the brake lever. It's just pushing out a bit of the air before I did that. So when you do come to bleed this, you just hold the syringe upright so the air is at the top of the syringe and you're not pushing it down inside of the system and then making it harder to bleed. And now just undoing the caliper bolt. So with this one again, just need to find the correct fitting from the kit. Same threaded end, one end, and then the other end's a little barbed push-on end. And this is where all the waste is going to be pushed out. So we just need to connect a small little piece of tube, and then that'll go into the little waste pot. You want to make sure this is secured or held correctly, otherwise if you knock it over it'll go everywhere. I didn't have it held very good, so I had to hold it with my hand, to be honest. But you can see here straight away the dirty oil is getting pushed out, and you can see that I'm holding the syringe upright, so the actual part which you push in is at the top, so the air is at the top of the syringe. You're not pushing that into the system. So you can see there some of the air that was in the system is getting pushed out, and all the old oil is getting pushed out. So I'm just going to bleed it all the way through and just make sure that there's green oil coming out, and then then you've fully bled the system, and yeah, it's nice fresh oil in there. So you can see there's nothing coming out now, it's all fresh oil, and that's basically that part done. So now we just need to remove the waste side of it. So just unscrewing the small brake bleed connector part. Just make sure you hold the caliper so the actual screw part is sort of upright. You don't want anything coming out at this point. It shouldn't do, because you've got the syringe at the top which is holding a vacuum, so there should be no oil that will come out. But just to make sure, just hold that upright, and then when you're screwing that screw back in, you shouldn't get any oil coming out. You might get a slight bit of excess coming out as it pushes it into the oil which has just been syringed. And now again, doing exactly the same thing at the top where the brake lever is, just unscrewing those parts, just removing the line, and just make sure you hold it slightly upright again, the same reason you did the bottom one, like that. Again, you shouldn't get any oil coming out because that screw at the bottom is just holding it, so the oil won't pour back out like that. And just screwing that back in. And you can see there straight away it's working all okay, no issues. So that's bled nice and easy. I know some people do use like a water method where they put it under a tank and then bleed it through that way. I've never tried it myself and I don't really like the idea of it, but I'm sure it's fine. So yeah, that's it. There's the old oil in there, so that can be discarded properly.
So yeah, I hope that's helped with the process of how to bleed these HS brakes. This applies to all HS type rim brake. You know, they do slightly different ones like the HS33, Racelines, all that sort of style, but they all bleed pretty much exactly the same. So yeah, I hope that's helped. Thanks for taking the time to watch the video. It's really appreciated. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.